Here we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Friday night.
Hello. Happy Friday.
Awesome. It's good to see you all. Hi, Greeter. Hi, Lisa, Christina.
Hello.
And Lucienne. And Rochelle.
Rochelle, Allison.
Everybody we know. Hi, Donnell. So anyways, Friday night fun. Victoria, that's where I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to Victoria's house.
Yay.
Of course, it's going to be an all-day flying escapade, but
oh my gosh.
But I'll get there.
You'll get there.
Literally 12 hours of flying.
Oh, wow. That's
You'd think I was going to Europe, but nope, just going to Oregon.
Wow, that is a long flight.
It's just like all the different stops. You have to go here to here to here to here and then there, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
I'm sure it will be fine.
Oh, it will.
It's a nice time of year to fly anyway.
Well, hopefully I can sleep because I get so tired of flying. But anyways, it should be fun. But it'll be all right. Layover hell, that's exactly what it is. I think I have a huge layover in one city for sure, but you can't complain. At least you can get on a plane and get somewhere, right?
Yes, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
explain.
So Friday night, guys, it's Hollywood Legend Night or World Leaders. And I know that Lucienne's been taking the list there.
And living or past.
Right.
Either
living or past or living.
Mm-hmm.
I know we get a lot of past questions, but I certainly love reading on the living too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All is good. And I wanted to bring something up from last week. I know, Kim, you weren't here last week, but we talked to Tom Petty.
Oh.
And you can tease me all you want, Kim, because I know that you tease. You're like, he's like, no, I don't, you guys.
I will.
I don't know Tom. I mean, of course I've heard of Tom Petty and like that.
Right.
When he was popular, I was into Southern rock. Neil Young, the Doobie Brothers. I was in a completely different genre of music. So, and even so, I knew that there was a Tom Petty. It wasn't my music.
Right.
So I didn't know anything about it. So Tom is coming through, and you guys need to listen to this because it's pretty incredible. So Tom came through, and most of you guys were here. So, but he came through, and the first thing is that I'm like, why is he giving me a Pat Benatar song? And everybody's like, I don't know. I'm like, it's that song, Heartbreaker, Dream, and then everybody's like, oh my God, it's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So then the reading goes on and on and on, and then at the end I ask him, do you have a message you want to give to us? And I'm gonna have to go back because now I can't even remember the message. But if I go back to that moment, and this is why I'm bringing it up, because the message it's really, so later some people contacted me and said, this is this song that he was bringing in another song for me to give a message. And that's how he was able to, he's like, if I give her a song, the word, you know what I mean? It took some thought to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let me see. So it would have been last week. Wait. How do I get there? Would it be?
Are you ready for that?
But I have to maybe someone here, Tom Petty. Oh, Tom Petty contacts Linda G all the time. Oh, wow, Sandra.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know. Comments. Here we go. I'm getting to the comments, and I'm taking this moment, guys, because it's important. Okay, here it is. So it's the song Lady, but at the time I didn't know. All I kept getting was take time to make time. Take time to make time. And I kept saying that. I'm like, he keeps saying, take time to make time.
Take time to make
And
time.
make time. But I wasn't putting it together. Exactly. So you got it right away. And I'm like, well, you know. And so, but here's the message, guys. And so for all of us, this is a message from Tom Petty. I'm going to bring it in tonight. And he's like, yep, he's here again. Look around you, look up here or whatever, but his main thing was take time to make time and make time to be there, like be present in your moments. So take that time, make that time, be purposed about making that time, to take time to be there, to be in the moments. We get so caught up in things. And so that's one thing that I feel like he would have been purpose about doing better with.
Right.
That was the message, you guys, from last week. But I wanted to bring it fully around this week because I thought the message was so important, and that he spent all that time trying to get me to, in this brain of mine, and I'm like, he keeps saying, take time to make time to, and I knew it was something. And
right.
I couldn't grasp it. And so then afterwards, I got a bunch of messages. That's the song Lady. And so, of course, then I had to look up the song, and I'm like, oh, I know that song. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Little River Band.
Little River Band, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's such a good song.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that for a minute. For sure. But good song, you guys. Good song. So, yeah, so I wanted to revisit that a little bit, and because I thought that, and so Tom's here right now. He's like, yay. Well, he worked so hard, working with my brain. He's like, oh my gosh, take time to make this, oh gosh. Anyway.
Well, he's a patient soul, isn't he?
He is and was.
Oh, that's nice.
For sure.
That's a great message.
Smiley Heart says cassette tape music.
Cassette tape music, or 8-track tape music,
or
earlier.
Or my records.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, exactly. Yeah, records.
Anyway, yay, Tom.
Nice.
But I thought that was just so clever of him to use music to bring through his messages, like using that Benatar song, and then, Carmela, thank you, new member, guys.
Hey.
So yeah, to all the members, a lot of you already know this, but in a couple weeks we're going to have a member event. I'm going out of town, going to Victoria Smith's house. You all see her in the chat. She's flying me to her house. We're going to have some fun.
Nice.
But after that, we're going to, in the next week, we're going to be doing a member event. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
Okay. So it's 8-track with a book of matches jammed under it. Oh yeah. To hold it up, right? if it started going like that, it wouldn't play. Wayne, you got that one right.
Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious. All right. So I feel like, Lucien, we're ready for our stepping in.
Okay.
Tom Petty's going to line them up for us.
Okay.
Now I have that song in my mind.
I know, right? Now we're going to have to listen to it afterwards.
Amal Clooney. Ooh. Amal. Well, okay. Amal is George Clooney's wife. You probably already knew that, Kim.
I didn't actually. I mean, I know he's married, but I didn't know that was her name. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I figured she would have kept her own last name, so I just looked her up. But yeah, it's Amal. It's Amal. She is Lebanese born, a British barrister. Oh, yeah, spouse George Clooney. She's a British barrister at Doughty Street Chambers. So, that law, human rights, she's into human rights and all that. Powerful woman. Here she is. Beautiful gal. All right.
I feel like she's a type A personality. She feels like a type A personality. She feels also like she has a lot to get done. Like I feel like she's crammed a lot into this lifetime. That's what it feels like. It feels like she has a lot to do. So I feel like she's going to be here for a while. It feels like she has a lot to accomplish and a lot of things that she wants to do, a lot of purpose for this lifetime. I see twins around her for some reason.
Oh yeah, they have twin daughters.
Oh, they do? Oh my gosh, that's weird because I wasn't going to say it. I was just going to be like, for some reason, around her.
Yeah, I think they're around.
Interesting.
I think they're around. Wouldn't they be around 6? You guys? I think they're around 6 years old now, maybe older. And can you believe I even know any of this?
I didn't even know they had kids. So that's
So Alexander and Ella.
Oh wow! Oh, I love both those names. Okay.
I know, me too.
Okay, so now we know where that's from.
Alexander. So maybe it is a boy. Maybe it is a boy and a girl. Sandra knows. They all said a boy and a girl. Sorry, guys. I'm like, that's how much I know. At least I knew he had twins.
Okay. More than me.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so I'm sensing she has she has a very similar feel to the ladies that we read on who have passed with that power behind them, like that born with empowerment to make some big changes. So I initially felt that, but also she's forgiving up to a point, right? So she's very flexible and movable up to a point. At which point she will stand firm. She's very fair. But there's a strength behind that fairness. I just feel, powerhouse, Brenda. Like, she's just she is very, very. She's before her time in the our human experience. Like she has a enlightened perspective of human experience, and that very structured balance there. Gemini twins, they have their hands full. Okay, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But again, she's flexible up to a point. But let's read. I'm going to throw some cards too. Yes, okay. Connie, very intelligent. That's right, Melissa. Like, you don't want to be in her path. If she has a goal and her sight is on something, that's kind of the feeling I'm getting. Like, you just get out of the way. Kind of feel to that. Okay, so the twins are turning 4 on June 6th. Okay,
I didn't think so. A couple of days.
coming up. We can hear Kim scribbling. Roxanne says we can hear Kim.
I'm sorry.
along.
I mean, I don't.
She gave you a thumbs up.
I don't want to go dark here, but she was cheated on in some relationship. And I feel like it didn't make her not trustworthy. It didn't break her trust with completely, but it did change her. I feel like before it happened, she was kind of naive and very trusting, and afterwards, she's very. I don't think she's suspicious or anything like that, but she's just not as naive. It woke her up, basically.
Right.
But it was a turning point. It was a kind of a changing,
awakening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is a challenge in her life. That past wound that you just brought up, that literally is one of her challenges. That she's like trust and like that. She's been wounded before.
Mm-hmm.
She's really good at balancing and doing her thing. She's really focused, and that's kind of she's focused, and she's a woman of truth who stands for truth as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like she is really she is a strong force in their marriage, though.
Mm-hmm.
And they are connected. I feel like they have a real strong mutual respect as well as love.
Mm-hmm.
And she's really good at balancing her worlds. And
I feel like she needs to be careful about. I feel like she's one of these people that will go until she can't go anymore. I feel like she needs to pace herself better.
Yeah.
She's one of those people that could make herself sick by just going.
And yeah, she can do it, but you need to pause.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's passionate, and she's a visionary, always has something that she as far as basically changing the world in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the Queen of Wands and the Empress there.
Yeah, very influential. She came here to do stuff. There, definitely had a path coming in, and I'm sure she probably always felt like she was here to do something, because he's here to do a lot of stuff.
Yes, Lisa, she's super smart, and yeah. So the message to her, if she's watching,
I'm sure she is. I'm sure she is.
I'm sure.
Her and George are just
absolutely. They're just kicking back.
They are
watching my channel right now. And it is to take that rest, take that time out, recoup time.
Yeah,
it's important.
She's a candidate for burnout. She because she goes.
Yeah.
Does anybody know if there's a Kennedy connection with her? Because I keep getting the Kennedys for some reason.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know why Kennedys are coming up. So I don't know if there's just maybe there's a past life connection or a connection that I don't know anything about.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know why.
She specializes in international law and human rights.
Oh, wow. Well, we need her.
Her Aquarian sun is in the 12th house, so she's highly psychic as well.
Ooh. Well, she can just do everything, can't she?
Love Peace says, I bet Jackie is her spirit guide, one of her spirit guides.
It could be.
Those influential families helping out influential families, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Maybe. Yeah.
I bet. I didn't realize that she was born in Beirut, Lebanon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, she's
wow. She's really pressed through a lot, hasn't she?
Yeah, I was going to say that's that fighting spirit, you know.
Oh, she's been compared to Jackie style-wise many times.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why or maybe, you know, maybe she does have kind of maybe she like admires her or something. I don't know. Maybe she admires Jackie Kennedy or something. But they're coming for whatever reason. The Kennedys are coming up. Okay.
Well, she kind of looks like her too. I mean, look.
Oh yeah.
Very,
Yeah, she does. Has that, yeah, dark hair and light skin. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Beautiful. Well, we'll send her love and light and success in all she does as far as really putting herself out there, pray protection, and that she can make a change in the human rights movement.
Absolutely.
Love that. Amal Clooney. Robin and Maurice Gibbs.
Oh, the Bee Gees.
Oh, the Bee Gees. All right.
Robin Maurice.
And they've passed, right?
It's not, there's no S at the end. It's just Give. Yes, okay. They're both passed. They're both passed.
So let's see. I'm gonna have to. I love that you knew that there was no S. Yep. Craig corrected it too. Gibb. He knows.
I love the Bee Gees.
Okay. Robin Gibb. Okay, so I see who that one is. So this one's Robin. Of course, you guys all know that. But that's Robin there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, Maurice. And so this one's Maurice, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't recognize him as much.
He usually wore a hat.
Oh, okay. I recognize him here with the hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's with the hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Robin and Maurice. Let's see. Oh, that's funny because I recognize Robin right up, but it's interesting. Maurice is coming in quickly. Sandra, blessings. Thank you.
Sandra.
Maurice is coming right in. He has a real tender feel to him. Like he would have been more of like he feels like a you know that he feels like a middle son to me, or a middle child feel to him. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that, I don't know if he is or not, but that's the feeling I get from him. He's like that mediator mm-hmm. feel to him, where kind of like trying to if the boat's rocking, he's trying to mm-hmm. let's stabilize this. I feel like he was a stabilizer in the group with the Gibbs. Would that be correct, mm-hmm. you guys? Is this him? Yeah, he just very peaceful. Very. I felt would he have been the spiritual one too? They were twins. He was the middle man. Yes. Okay. They were twins, Robin and Maurice. That's fun. Interesting. I had no idea. I'm sure I know some of their songs. I don't know. Maurice was the peacekeeper. Okay, that's how he's coming in.
I feel like because I'm getting the other brother.
Oh, you're getting the other brother.
Because I feel like he's saying that he was he had a lot of ego problems. He felt like he was overshadowed a lot by his other brothers. Not so much Maurice, but I feel like the other two, that he was overshadowed. And he felt like he always wanted to look different. He also felt like his health was never that great. I always felt like sick, not sickly, but it does kind of feel like I was sick a lot. I had lots of like sick, like didn't always feel great. But there was a lot of internal ego struggles for him. He's saying, I felt like I had a lot to offer, but I was overshadowed a lot. And so it really played on messed with my head, basically. And so I would be angry sometimes. I would be not speaking to people sometimes. I took it personally a lot. And, but he said, in the end, I just loved making music with my brothers. That was that made everything okay. But aside from that, this is what was happening with me in my mind and stuff in my head. It was not easy, but loved it just was so perfect. I just loved it. And that's
the feeling I'm getting from Maurice too. At the end of the day, he just loved.
Yeah.
He just loved that. People are saying you're spot on with your description of him.
Good. Oh, good. I'm so glad because I don't know. Yeah. Of all of them, I don't know anything about these two.
Yeah, I don't either at all. Obviously, I don't even know their songs. Brenda's saying yes. Okay. My husband was a drummer and we played music at his funeral.
Oh, wow.
Okay. The Bee Gees voices were perfect. I'm going to have to take a listen again. I think I know. I'm sure as soon as I hear it, I'll go, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you know that. They have a ton of songs.
I'm sure I had an album. They're holding up their album with their picture on it. And so I'm like, okay. I think I remember that album. They're like, of course you know us. It's like, okay, I know I do. I feel like I do know you. I'm sure I probably sang their songs and everything.
And I feel like they still do music together. It's different though. They're saying it's different. It's different than it was here. It's nothing's quite like it. But it's still very satisfying. And this is where it came from. Basically, this is where it originated, where they are now. And then they brought it here and now they're back here. But he's like, it's different, but it's still so wonderful to be able to do this, to make music. It's in their soul. I mean, it really is.
It is them.
It is.
And when they come back, they'll probably be doing music again.
Exactly.
Completely in them. And Elena's like giving me all the songs. I recognize those. Okay, so you should be dancing. Love, peace. Thank you so much. What's the one she said that made me laugh? Because I'm like, oh, I know that one. Staying Alive.
Yeah.
Okay. I know those songs. More Than a Woman. Yeah. Saturday Night. You Should Be Dancing. I know all those. Yep. Got it. Thanks, guys. I'm just laughing because they're shaking their head at me right now.
And Marge, they are with Andy because I feel like there's 4 of them. that when they're talking about like the brothers, they're like, there's 4.
Yeah,
Is
they're together.
as the other one passed, is Barry passed too? Barry Gibb? Does anyone know if he's passed too? Andy died first, yeah. At age, yeah, he was really young.
Really young. It didn't all the girls.
So if he's alive, they're around him, because I feel like it's the 4 brothers together. So they are absolutely with him. If he is not passed, you can't tell a different. They're so cohesive. They're so they're so together, these 4 brothers, that I just feel like you can't tell.
Yeah, their energies are just
absolutely intertwined. It's like their harmonies. It really is like
just
that.
like their harmonies.
So yeah, there's something about the 4 of them. So okay, he did a retrospective during lockdown. Yeah, because I just feel like they are with him, completely with him.
I bet they were totally with him on that album that he just put out as well. And I bet he'll talk about that. I wonder, Barry.
Yeah,
it's like I feel like they're all kind of saying, if we could just have one more day together,
right.
In just like on this planet together, they would have released any regrets and just hugged one another. They're that's what they that's the most important thing. Would have been those relationships. And I don't know if they were able to say that at the end or whatever, but they're saying if they had one more moment together, that's what they would focus on. It's almost like, I don't know if we'd even pick up an instrument and sing. We would want to just hold on to each other and release any regrets, anything that could have been, brought up between us or whatever. They would want that erased. They would want that moment for that. Although, obviously music is their thing. That's more important, was the relationships of the brothers, the family.
And I feel like I'm thinking that Barry's the oldest, but I don't know if that's right. But he seems like the leader or the head or something. But I feel like he took the youngest one's death very, very hard. I feel like it leveled him. So I'm not sure what that is. They're just bringing that up. But I guess because he's okay, they're with him. So it's like he's fine. But it really did devastate him, Barry Gibb. It devastated him when Andy died. It was, I'm sure it was devastating for all of them, but for him in particular, they're just saying it was devastating.
Yeah, and it's even though they had that time, it was like there's things that they allowed, and they keep bringing me back to this time. If they could have one more moment together on this plane, it would be really bringing in that hug and just releasing, because they let life and all the fastness get in the way of some of their deep connections and relationships. And there's some regrets with that. And I don't know what they are, the ins and outs of their stories, but those of you who do know, they're saying that's one thing that they wish that they could have taken care of before they passed, and have this moment of just releasing that, forgiving or taking back some time, or taking some time with each other, more time or something. They realized that was something that was missing. And so I feel with that, they're saying for us, don't let things in life and busyness and noise of life get in the way of these connections that we've been placed here with.
You're right. And no grudges. There's a thing about grudges. No,
yeah.
don't have grudges. It does not. Yeah.
It's such a waste. And plus, yeah, don't miss out because of a grudge. Don't miss out on that connection and that gift that you have.
Mm.
That's true, Smiling Heart. Full circle to Tom Petty's Live in the Moment.
Yeah, really, yeah. And they both feel very up to me. They both feel very, it was a fun ride, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think those ego things,
yeah,
being brothers and being in the music business and you can imagine all the stuff that would come up. But all three brothers seem like they're really good, and they seem very connected, like I said, to the other brother. So, whatever he's doing, they're involved,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Nice. So if he's watching, know that your brother's because he's watching.
He's watching at the Clooney's house.
Right. And they're all together. It's like popcorn night.
They're all together.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Nice.
Hi, Sonja, Rayne Lee. Good to see ya.
Hi, Sonja.
So, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Wow. Cool. Oh, yeah. Nobody gets too much heaven. Yeah, we're thanking them for all their music and all that they brought for us.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it'll live on forever. Thank you guys for coming in. That was so cool. Grace Kelly. I recognize this name, Grace Kelly.
She was a movie star in the 1950s, and she married Prince. She married Prince Rainier from Monaco.
Oh, okay. Okay. She was born on November 12th, 1929, and passed September 14th, 1982.
What's her birthday?
November 12th, 1929.
Okay, November 12th. So she's what is that, Scorpio or?
I don't know. But someone's going to tell us any second.
As if I know anything about, I don't even know I'm asking that because I don't know anything about it. I know Scorpios because I'm a Scorpio, but that's it.
So you know all about Scorpios then?
Yes, I know about some things about Scorpios. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, everybody's saying Scorpio. Yeah,
Scorpio.
Yes, and very beautiful lady. Very beautiful.
Very beautiful. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, she was very, very, very beautiful.
Okay, I'm going to check in here with Grace Kelly. You know, it's interesting because she comes in, she's I feel like she was very purposed about her words. She wasn't a person at all.
Mm-hmm.
And she used her words wisely. So she brings in that feel of just very like shoulders back and you know, when she spoke, it was, you would listen, right? Because it was like speaking. But she she enjoyed acting and playing parts. But she feels her true calling was marrying this, being the marrying
Princess.
prince. She feels that was her calling. She's I fit that role better than any role that I had, she said. As she felt it gave her the opportunity to bring change and progress. But she's also showing me this. So when she's doing that, I feel like maybe that part of why she chose her words was because
right,
some of it was kind of taken from her. So she chose her words, but she feels like she made progress, though. She made some changes, even though she didn't really have the voice like you would think she would have.
I feel like, and I always like this with you, Debbie, because I feel like we pick up different parts of people, and
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I think all of that is true. I'm feeling she was incredibly lonely. There's something of a loneliness about her. I feel like it was an adjustment. Let me just put it that way. I think you're right. I think it was a calling. I think she answered the call.
Yeah.
And she knew how important it was, but I feel like there was a tremendous sacrifice involved, and she was extremely lonely at times. I feel like she didn't always feel understood totally or supported totally, but you're right. I think she was driven to do this job well, because she saw it as I think you're right. I think a calling, something she was supposed to do. But it wasn't easy, though. I feel like there was sacrifice involved, and I feel like she was very lonely at times. It was a very lonely existence, isolated. She felt isolated.
Yes, that's a good word. Absolutely. She was able to find things, but definitely it was a huge change. But she found her place in it.
Yeah.
They're asking who's driving because allegedly, so she died in a car accident. Her daughter was in the car as well. People are asking who was driving the daughter because it's not clear. Sondra's saying she went through hell with her kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I feel like she didn't quite have the support she needed to do stuff. I feel like she felt alone in a lot of her the decisions she had to make. And maybe that is what it is. Maybe with her kids and stuff, maybe he was off princing, being prince, and she was having to do kind of both, like be a princess and try to raise these kids. So. But there is like a lack of support, a loneliness, an isolating kind of feeling.
Okay, so it looks like I'm piecing together what everybody's saying here.
Okay.
Okay, so the sun still reigns in Monaco now. Her daughter, Stephanie, was very troubled after her death.
Oh.
And it was hard if you were driving and loved one passed away. Oh. Yeah, regardless of what happened. In asking her, it was like she wasn't showing me. She wasn't going to show me about that part. Who's, whether who was driving or not.
I'm getting, it's not my place to say. That's what I've heard. Like, it's
And
not
that's why she's like,
she's
no.
not.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tisha's doing her whole chart, and I guess she had a really rough chart, a real rough astrological chart. She's saying poor Grace. She has all these faces, and she had it hard. Here's the deal: when she's coming in, she's showing her. She feels like she was strong. She pressed through challenges. No matter how hard, she kept getting up the next day. And there absolutely were some days she did not want to get up, right? But she pressed through in strength, and she was proud. And she did not want anybody to see their effect on her, or if they had hurt her, she was not going to allow that to be shown. Like if people didn't like her, let's say there's people while she was the princess didn't like her or were negative about her, she wasn't going to show that it affected her or sat on her at all. But I do feel that there was effects. It did affect her, but she was not going to allow that to be seen because she felt.
And it's interesting that you're saying that, because I'm getting the same. Well, not that, but I'm getting that people were resistant to her being princess. They didn't. I don't know if it's because she was from there. They didn't. Not everybody was accepting of her, and so it's interesting that you're saying, like, on the other side, like she was like not going to let it get to her, but that is true. They did not. There were some that did not. To me, it feels like the older generation, they didn't like that she was, coming in and trying to
making these
play that role,
bringing progress and change. Yeah.
And I feel like she really loved the place. She really loved Monaco, but it became kind of like a prison, a little bit. She felt very restricted. Maybe it's like you're saying, kind of with her behavior, how she could, couldn't really express herself and that kind of thing. So very in the spotlight and in a different kind of way, having to be in that position of royalty. That's very different. But it became a little bit like a prison. And so she had a very love-hate relationship with the place. But yeah, so.
Yeah. And, part of this stoicness of her, she put off that, obviously she wasn't a very warm person. She wasn't like the kind that you come here, give me a hug.
Right.
No, not at all. And that could have been some issues between her and her kids.
Right.
But she said she felt like it was necessary to raise them strong. And that's how she thought to do it.
So I keep getting something weird. I keep getting that she was in love with I don't know when I feel like it was before she went to Monaco. I feel like she was in love with a man in Hollywood, but I feel like he was gay. And I feel like it kind of like broke her heart. I want to say it was Rock Hudson, but I don't know that. I don't know that to be true, but it's somebody like that. Because I feel like he's kind of
I know, Lopez, I was just going to say Cary Grant, because I just learned last week that he was
okay.
He was fluid. He was
Cary Grant. Was it Cary Grant? Is that who? Was she involved with Cary Grant?
Oh, I don't know, but when you said that,
that's why I'm like,
I thought of Cary Grant, because last week when I read him, I learned that he was bisexual.
Right.
But I didn't know that. And so when you said that, I'm like, was it Cary Grant? Because
I'm not getting
what I know.
I'm not getting exactly who it is, but I know it's somebody who we think of as being kind of manly man. I almost feel like she's holding back, like with saying who it was, but I think the point is that it kind of it steered her away from Hollywood a little bit. It kind of made her like
Sondra, I just looked over and she brought in Cary Grant.
Okay. So
did.
Well, I guess that's it then. But it made her kind of turn away from Hollywood a little bit, and then it was at that point where she met, and it was like a perfect storm.
Yeah, perfect storm. The heartbreak, or was it?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, or it was, sealed her fate. Let's put it that way.
Sealed her fate.
Oh, a lot of leading men. So maybe it was, yeah. So but I felt like she really fell for somebody that turned out to be gay. So
because she, right when we were talking about it, I looked over and she kind of turns and puts her hand, like someone's going to kiss it, and Cary Grant comes in.
Okay, so there you
go. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting chills on that. So yeah, interesting. Well, interesting lady, and it surprises me she came in. To be honest, I was a little bit unsure if she would come in.
I know, me too.
So
after I was looking at her face here, and I'm like, but I was glad she did. And she's saying, don't be afraid to open your heart fully. She said that she was. It started early on, but she said she was afraid to open her heart. And so she missed out on a lot of just normal life because she was blocked up. She was afraid to love. She said, don't be afraid to love. That's what you're here for. Don't do that.
There's something about her father too. I feel like it's like that set up my expectations for what love was, what men were about. My father. Mm-hmm. So something about her dad. So yeah, I think that's a great message. Coming from her, I think she would know. I think you're spot on, Debbie.
Well, thank you for coming in, Grace.
Yeah, thank you. I wasn't sure about that one, but thank you. Yeah, that's great. always glad when they do.
So Elena wants her prince in again.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'll never forget when Prince came in that one time.
I know that freaked me out.
I was not prepared.
It was great in a good way. It was just not. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
It's interesting too because it's so weird because it's one of those people that you expect one thing and get another I think that's what threw me, not knowing it was him, because he's so casual. He's so kick back. Yeah. He's so laid back. There's nothing prince-ish or like
not at all
star or anything like that. No pretense. Very, just very cool. Just a cool guy, like a cool friend you'd want to have.
Yes, exactly. Just hang out. No expectations, like just no pretense. Truly who he might have been behind closed doors that we never saw. is what he's coming through now, and came through on that one time for Elena.
Right. And I feel like he's holding his heart for Elena. It really touches him that she loves him so much. So just Elena, that's for you. He's going like this for you. It touches his heart. He felt to me, it's like I feel like he's fine where he is. So I don't want to give that impression, but I feel like he feels like things were cut off a little early. He had stuff to do. He had more things to create, and I feel like he might be someone who comes back pretty soon. Even though I feel like the ending was kind of difficult, like the drugs and stuff like that. But I feel like he's a creating machine, and I just feel like he wants to come back to create. He loves it. It's like it just loved that process, and it was just such a fun process. And so I feel like he's ready to. I'll say he's coming back right away, but I feel like he will be back soon, and he will be doing the same kind of thing. He may even be like, oh, this guy reminds us so much of Prince, and because it feels like he just loves that. I feel like he loved that life, and I don't think it'll be exactly the same, but I feel like he's going to come back in some kind of creative, as a creative force.
It's so funny because I asked him to pull a few cards,
Oh, great.
And right when you said that he's coming back, because he's like, first of all, he has a message. He's like, you guys be looking out for something, like something regarding, I don't know if it's regarding him or something regarding music or something. Is be watching for that. I feel like either these are the cards. You have the Seven of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. And it's funny because before I even pulled the cards, he was saying, be on the lookout. There's something new news or something's coming out. And when I got this, the Seven of Pentacles, that's like when you look back and you're looking over what you've done thus far. And, and maybe something, I don't know. We got to keep our eye open for that. Maybe something new of his that hasn't been known, or is that even a possibility? But that's kind of what I thought with it. Right when you said he was coming back, I got the Judgment card.
So maybe it is something that's more immediate.
Transformation. This is like second chances. So right when you said it, I feel like he's coming back. This card flew out of the deck. So,
well, maybe
that's confirmation.
Yeah. Cindy says maybe unreleased music, and it kind of seems like it could be something like that.
It could be.
It also could be like some kind of compilation of all his stuff too.
Wes says he has tons of unreleased material. So he said, keep on the lookout for that. So I feel like that might be. So
he's still publicizing himself. He's
like,
keep on the lookout.
Helen.
Oh,
he loves all his fans.
Yeah.
Does he have regrets about the drugs? Katie wants to know.
I think he does. Like I said, I think things were cut short, and I think he definitely does.
Yeah.
I also feel like he feels like the fans, like the audience, was part of they were part of it. He couldn't have done anything without them. It's like that they are part of it. They're all part of it.
Yeah. Energy.
Interwoven. It's all part of the, it's all kind of interwoven into one thing. So he considers like the fans part of his journey, his process, everything. It's like everything was they were part of it all, of course.
Yeah, that energy and it's so funny though, because he really does want us to know that behind closed doors, he was the guy next door. Like literally, come on over, sit on the couch, no expect, like that.
Yeah, he's a very
But he loves performing too.
Absolutely. And then maybe it was two sides, maybe that he did have two sides, but he's so chill. He's so relaxed. He's so just like a cool friend,
Mm-hmm.
Cool guy. No pretense, and it's weird because that persona was a lot of pretense. And so I wonder if that's just the real him that he's just showing.
And it's interesting. I don't know anything. Well, you all know. I mean, of course, I know Prince. I don't even have to look him up. Okay. But he showed me. I feel like he was neglected as a child.
Oh.
He's showing me some times when he was little, being kind of he was neglected, like left alone, like he's sitting there on the floor by himself in diapers, looking around, like neglect. So to me, that's like a sign of neglect. And Brenda says, I don't think his family was supportive. So maybe that's what he's showing me with that symbol, or he was literally neglected as a child. Elena says, I saw him live in 2014. Best day of my life. Oh, Elena says yes. Okay, so he was. Yeah. Yes, he was neglected. So he says that was part of kind of that string. He never cut that cord of that, and that was part of the drug use, he said. Mm-hmm. So that neglection, being neglected, and all that pain, that in rejection and trouble from that became part of his story within him, not consciously, but enough pain that needed to be numbed. And so that was part of not only what some of his music probably played out through that a little bit, but and again, I know Purple Rain, so I'm sorry, you guys. I love you. Please love me. But so he's saying it kind of played out, and it played out through his the drug use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people are confirming that, Debbie, that he was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So he's like, please work on that in your own lives. We all have stories. We all have our own stories, and he wants you to work on that. Don't try to numb it out your whole life. Cut it out, like boop, 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 boop. You know what I mean? Don't keep carrying that. So it can open up some of, it's taking me back to Grace Kelly, open up your heart a little more instead of trying to numb everything so you're not feeling.
So somebody was asking about the color purple, and I'm asking him about that. And he's saying that it has something to do with, I feel like it's like taking, okay, so he's showing me like blue and like red, but he's talking about sadness, taking sadness and using it to making it more of a something about passion. So I feel like it's almost like using your sadness to do something creative with it. But there's something about that. So it's something about the blue and the red combined. So it's something about passion. It's something about like using your sadness, using your heartache to do something
creative.
So there's something about that. I can't quite get it, but I can see the visuals he's showing me, but it's something like that. So to answer that question.
Yes, Ms. May. Feel all the feels and ask for help if you need. Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Elena says, yes, he explained it like that once before. Red and blue mixed.
Oh, whoa!
Look at you, Kim.
Make that happen.
That'll feel good.
Oh,
That was a very direct message.
that was a weird one. Yeah, that's cool. I love that.
Well, thank you, Prince, for coming in and
Yes,
for that
thank
message
you.
again. He's like, anytime.
Exactly. It is like he's
Anytime.
cool
Especially if
energy.
Elena's here.
Yeah. Wherever Elena is, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Yeah, he's such a cool really cool energy. Yeah.
He really is. He really is. He's the real deal right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Rita Hayworth. Rita.
I know she was in Guild.
Oh, she had some time of red hair too, it looks like. But she looks blonde and then times of red hair maybe. She's another Hollywood beauty.
Oh, very beautiful.
Oh yeah, so here's some red tones and blondes, and looks like she chose a bunch of different colors.
Yeah, I know. You think of her as being a redhead, but I guess she did. She was lots of different.
Okay. Rita.
She's going to something about I just keep hearing I forgot my lines. I forgot my lines. I'm forgetting my lines. It's something traumatic. I feel like she forgot her lines, and it was traumatic. It was something. I don't know. I'm not one of. I don't know her. I don't remember her story. I don't know anything about her story. I know she was in Gilda. Know that, but this is later. I feel like this is later. She's older.
Okay, so did she? I wanted to see.
This is when she left. She was like, I forgot my lines. I left.
Oh,
she had early onset Alzheimer's. Okay, because I feel like I forgot my lines, and that's why I left. And she's older. She's not young, but she's not old. She's like middle age, but it's like I can't remember my lines, so I left.
So her big years were the 40s. She was in 61 films. She was born in 1918 and died May 14th, 1987.
Okay.
She was born October 17th. So, yeah, 61 films over 37 years of being in the business.
So I guess that was when she exited. She's saying it's when I couldn't remember my lines. And it was humiliating. She's saying it was just awful, humiliating.
When I check in when she came in, she's just absolutely beautiful, and just kind of laying back and appreciate this. You know what I mean? She's
right.
But she was the top pinup girl for the GIs during World War II.
Wow.
She said she wasn't the smartest tool in the shed. And so I thought that was interesting. So she's like, I might have been a little ditzy. You know what I mean? Some of these women, they come in, you feel that intellect behind them, or that not darkness, but like some kind of something. She didn't come in. She was very light feeling, she also said, I wasn't the smartest tool or whatever. I was a little ditzy, but that's okay. I didn't bother her.
Right.
However, what you're saying, that came on later with the forgetting her lines and whatnot. She had fun. She loved playing her roles. She keeps saying in my term, it was my terms, by my terms.
Mm-hmm.
She was 62 only when she passed. She did life at her terms, she said. However, that being said, there was some early times where there were some uncomfortable situations. It could have been possibly really early on where she had to compromise her own self to get a role or something like that. She's not showing me the whole picture here, but she's giving that feel off that there was some times where
the casting couch.
That's exactly. I was just like, when I was looking at her, she's laying on the casting couch.
The couch.
And I'm like, something about the couch thing. And you're like, the casting couch. Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. But again, it was uncomfortable. She was placed, and it's still, it's not right, she says, but she still had a choice. She could have gotten up and walked away. She says, if you empower yourself in those situations, get up and walk away, you can get that role another way. You know what I mean? She says it's still going on today. And so if we want to send out light and love and prayers for, she says men and women. It's not just a woman thing. I feel like she's kind of taking up a charge on the other side about this.
I do too. I feel that too, Debbie. And I feel like I feel like the grooming for this type of thing started very early for her. So I feel like it was like a familiar position to be in. You just do this and you get, it's just something you have to do. It was very early on. It was drummed into her that this is how women kind of make their way.
Yeah. And
she's going for it on the other side. I think she's very involved in what's happening.
Yes. I feel like from I feel like there was abuse early on, that childhood that kind of
makes sense,
played over into her adulthood and kind of kept playing out. And she just you just don't know any different. But she says, so I feel like you said, I agree with that, Kim, that she's bringing here too. But yeah,
it's not just Hollywood. You're right. It's all over. It's
truth.
It's
Truth.
It is what it is.
Exactly. But her fight is in Hollywood, actually. She says, of course it is happening everywhere, but her fight is in Hollywood and what's going on there and how it continues to go on, even though even after the Me Too movement, it's still happening. And she says, remember the boys too. Remember the men. It's not just the women.
She's very proud. I feel like she's very proud of her career, though. I feel like she's like, it's very, it's almost like, can you believe that I did it? A girl like me coming from here, doing all of this stuff. I still, she's still proud of it. It's very, very, she's very proud of her career. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I paid for it in more than one way. But she is proud of it, and she loved it.
I get that too.
It's funny because she keeps taking me back to she's like, she could stand up for other women who it was happening to, but for herself, she couldn't stand up. Like she didn't have it was probably internal for her. You know what I mean? Obviously, you keep putting yourself in abusive, you know what I mean, over and over again. But when she would hear about it with some of her friends or whatever, it would rile her to no end. You know,
Yeah.
She said blood in my eyes about it, you know. But, and so, and that would make sense to her now too. It's one of those injustice things that has to end. And now she knows that she's not only fighting for herself, but also for others. But at the time, she didn't put the 2 and 2 together that she was fighting for herself. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I feel like she reminds me a little bit of Marilyn Monroe. A little bit. She was very attracted to very, like incredibly intelligent men, very like overly intelligent men, and I feel like it almost made her life more difficult in some ways because these men had huge egos too. But I feel like she's making me feel like they were extremely intelligent, and this was very attractive to her. Not so much looks, you know, brains.
Yeah.
Brains.
It's funny because, you know, she was saying, she's like, you know, it's a little ditzy, that's all right. But maybe that she was attracted to the brains. Yeah.
Right. You're attracted to what you
Oh, someone says Craig did heartbreaking. What did I miss? Craig wrote something. She started as a dancer. Her father was her partner, her abuser. So her dad was her abuser.
Oh gosh. Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is sad. All right. Well, interesting.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, Rita.
What interesting life.
Very interesting.
I mean, all of these people are just,
right? I know. That's why we like to find out.
Right.
Yeah, everybody wants to know about all these people. Craig's asking about Clara Bow. Sure. Clara. Oh, I kind of recognize some of her poses, like this one. Isn't this like a famous pose of some sort?
Yeah, she's like the original flapper.
Okay.
Silent film.
Oh, silent film. Okay.
Yeah. She's saying Hollywood broke my heart. That's what she's saying. That's her first. First thing she's saying.
First thing she's saying, Hollywood. Yeah. So July 29th, 1905 was her birthday. And she died September 27th, 1965. Silent film era in the 20s. Oh, she successfully made her transition to talkies, and I know what that is now.
You know what that is.
In 1929. The It Girl, it was her nickname from a role she played, plucky shop girl. All right, so let's talk to Clara Gordon.
When you said she went successfully to talkies, she just said yes and no. So she said yes and no. So she's listening to me.
So I wonder if it was easier for her not to say anything.
Maybe. You know what I mean? She drank alcohol. She's saying she drank too. She drank too much.
That's funny because right when I looked over here, she had a bottle in her hand.
She presents herself though as a young her. She's not, you know, I don't know what she actually looked like, but I think I know what she looked like when she was older, but I'm not sure. She presents herself young. She's presenting herself young.
So she was 60 when she passed. Okay. They all died. Yeah, that's young, right? 60? Feels
She's dressed
young.
casual. She's not dressed to the nines. She's casual. At least for me, she's casual, young, casual, jeans. You know, she just feels very casual.
I feel when she was here, I feel like she was fearful a lot. It was like either she was anxious or something, but you know, suffered from anxiety. But I feel fear around her, like you never quite where she could just settle.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe it was expectations or.
Well, and there were a lot of changes in the industry during that time. Maybe it was just like you never quite knew what was coming next. Or would you have a cover? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel like she feels overwhelmed. Like she felt overwhelmed easily. And yeah, anxious.
There's something about money too. I don't, she's showing it like going through her fingers. So I don't know if she had trouble holding on to money or if the money left at some point, but she wasn't good with it, you know, but she's just showing it kind of running through her fingers. So and
that could be part of the anxiety.
It could be related. Yeah. Maybe that's why she's bringing it up.
Let's see.
It's interesting though. Very, very proud of what she did. You know, she really feels like it. She's proud of the place it plays, like in the history of film, like where her place is in the history of film. She's very satisfied with that. She's very happy with that. She didn't expect it. Didn't expect that she'd be anyone people would remember at all. But she's very happy that she's part of the film of like film history,
right. Forever. Kind of, yeah. It's part of that story that will
enjoys that. Yeah.
Because now she's showing, like on the other side, she just shows like enjoying every little peaceful. She enjoys the warmth here and this flower here, and so really enjoying that peaceful feeling. I feel like she got caught up with something regarding that money, where she would have been mob related.
Oh,
with that, and Craig, you might know more, where she may have gotten caught up in borrowing money or doing something like, I'm good for it. And I don't know if this is one of her movies that she's showing me or if this is real life, right? Because I don't know her movies. But like, I'm good for it, I'm good for it, like that. But then, she was doing the alcohol, possibly, I don't know if they had drugs back then, but whatever it was.
I feel like she was a smoker too.
Yeah.
Smoker.
Yeah. Yeah. So something with that is what I'm part of that anxiety, kind of always looking over your shoulder type deal.
Oh, interesting.
It's almost like, you see her on the film, you see her with, where you would successful and you'd think they have boatloads of the money and whatnot. And she gives me the feeling that it was like scraping all the time. You know what I mean? Like, do I have enough money because of living this lifestyle? And again, it's like, she's showing me going to some shady characters. I'm good for the money. Blah, blah, blah.
Craig said she's terribly discriminated against. Her housekeeper ripped her off.
Oh, and her housekeeper.
Oh, yes, they did. Craig's
ripped her off. Yes, they did. Okay, so they had drugs. Okay, so there was drugs too. But Craig, you haven't heard anything about the getting in with shady characters for money, getting money. Anyway, that's what she was showing me. I didn't know if it was a movie or if that was for real. Is this for real life, what you were telling me? Because sometimes they show me parts of their movies too. Just
right. This is what I did. Yeah, I feel like she's. I feel like she's good where she is right now. I feel like it's kind of like, I don't feel like she's planning to come back right away. I don't think.
I don't have that either.
I think she's proud of some of the things she did in that life, but I feel like she's fine where she is. It's like, but I'm fine. It was hard. I feel like it was hard for her.
It was a hard life.
Yeah.
It was a hard life.
Hard living. Yeah. I think, yeah. Yeah. She did a lot of living in that life and it was hard.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Yeah. She's saying to take care of yourself, take care of your physical self. She wishes she'd taken care more of her physical self. Take care of yourself physically.
Right. Yeah.
Take care of your health. Don't take it for granted. Don't take your health for granted.
Yeah, I think it would have been helpful if she did have some kind of guardian.
Oh, she was abused by her father too. This is a through line we've had with a lot of these women. Were abused by their father.
That's true. That is true. Well, everybody that came through tonight had some abuse or another, right?
Neglect. That's right. And setting up their future relationships because of that abuse, or their future problems because of that abuse,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Sonja, a lot of heaviness with her.
I do. I also feel like she's a little surprised we called that, like, we wanted to talk to her. I feel like she's a little like, surprised in a way, which is kind of neat, that she'd be, I think she was, thought it was kind of neat that somebody wanted to talk to her. So.
Yeah. And she's saying, don't be afraid to ask for help in the right places.
Right.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't feel you're an island. She's talking about being surrounded by friends, but they weren't real.
Right.
You can be surrounded but completely alone.
Yeah.
And she said,
we're the friends. Yeah.
Surround yourself with those who truly are your friends, and you know who they are, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you're feeling alone and lost. She chose drugs and alcohol, when she felt alone and lost,
right.
Even though she was surrounded by people. So choose wisely your friend family, right?
She sees you, Craig. She honestly, I feel like you're making her blush. That's what she's doing. She's like, you're making me blush. She's grateful. She really is.
Yes.
I kind of remember her and really appreciate her. So Craig, she recognizes you, just so you know.
And all that energy, Craig, too. When you send that energy of remembering and whatnot, that moves energy, right? And that moves to where she's at, and it helps her there.
Mm-hmm.
So when we think and this is for any of our loved ones on the other side, we think of them or pray for them, that energy moves them in good ways. So she much appreciates this, and she loved, like you said, Kim, she's like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Clara. For coming.
Yeah, thank you, Clara, for coming through. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, you guys, what a happy Friday night. How fun. Again, Kim, I just love meeting these people.
I know.
And getting to know them. And, I just love historical novels and stuff like that, just because I like to see what they're wearing
Right.
And what it was like. I just love that. So doing this is kind of like reading a historical novel for me. So
it really is. And it's just, I love the, how they present themselves. I always find so interesting, because some people will come in as their younger self, some older, some with costume, like how you'd expect them, and other people like completely laid back, not at all what you'd expect. So it's very interesting how they choose to present themselves coming in as that person, I always find it's really, really fun. But yeah, thank you, everybody. We're all really fun, people to look in on. So we even had one person who was alive too.
I know. That was fun. One person.
One person. Clearly, they want to talk to people that
and she's kind of a world leader.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that was cool.
So, very much
that
so.
Was cool.
Yes.
So thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Footprint Tarot, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us tonight. That was cool. All the readers who came and hung out with us tonight, thank you for coming. Please check out their channels, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
And until next time, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you then. Love and light.
Bye, guys.
And thank you, Lucienne, and all the moderators.
Thank you, Lucienne, and everybody.
Lucienne is
everybody.
Lifesaver.